Hello and welcome to the 2010 Coldwell Banker Associated Brokers Realty Kickoff video. First off, I'd like to say thank you to the top 10 for taking their time and to spend their efforts in putting this video together for us. If we can come out of this with a couple of tidbits of information that we can implement into our own business, then it's certainly worth our time. So again, thank you to the top 10 for sharing their information, experience, and tools with all of us. And again, let's hope that we can make 2010 the best year possible. Have a great time, relax, enjoy.
You gotta have a good work ethic. And I started back in Iowa on the farm and getting up early and going to work and going to bed when it got dark and got up again and went to work in the morning. And that stuck with me all through my life. And good or bad, it created a work ethic. I've been in the business 28 years. And like Chuck said the other day, I'm 72. If I can do it, why can't you?
I'm self-motivator. You don't have to talk to me to go get business. I'm my own motivator. I'm constantly working, no matter where I'm at. Funeral, seriously, I hate to say that. I'm working if I'm at a wedding, baby shower, if I'm at a grocery store. No matter where I'm at, I get the word real estate out, and before you know it, they're talking to me. It's not like I go try to push my business on them. They just find out what I do, and before you know it, they're talking to me, and before you know it, they will ask me questions regarding real estate, and that's how I get my contacts.
We'll get out, we're getting ready in the morning, and we say our prayers, and we ask God for His help, and then we get to the office, and we think, okay, we got a prospect, and next thing we know, Mike's phone's going off, someone wants to list their house, or someone's referring us a buyer, and it's like, wow, thank you, God, because it works. It's just phenomenal. And then, if you do the prospecting on top of that, it just works.
Hi, I'm Marty with Rental Property Management. This is my partner, Barbara. If you have clients that would like to lease their properties, then have professional management. We do everything.
We handle evictions.
And you're paying for that window, too!
We also give cash for keys.
Here's your cash for keys.
This isn't cash, it's Johnny Cash, and it's a bootleg copy.
Well, you can either deal with me and take the cash, or you can deal with her.
You're not paying the rent. I told you last week that was your last extension. You better have that rent in by 5 o'clock in the office tonight. This is your head, sucker.
And listening to all the sob stories.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey Marty, I have bad news.
What you got?
I can't afford our rent this month.
You can't afford your rent at all?
At all.
Come on in and have a seat. I'll get Barbara. Hey Barb, these are our tenants. They've just come in and informed us that they can't pay rent at all this month.
Not at all. You can't pay rent at all?
Not at all.
Are you working?
Yeah, I'm currently working.
Jeez. Let me see what I can do to help you. Give me a second. This is the best I can do. Start packing.
If you're thinking of leasing, please give us a call. We will work hard for your client.
You have to get back to basics. Pick up the phone, start making calls. And believe it or not, go knock on doors. It's probably one of the best markets right now to go knocking on doors, because a lot of people are in trouble out there and they just want somebody with some knowledge and ability to help them. And you don't need that certification. It might help, but a friendly face at the door and saying, hey, if you're upside down, I can help you. And if I can't help you, I'll get somebody that can. And I think you can be very successful this coming year.
The advice I have for new agents, again, is just to show up, to learn all you can learn, to shadow other agents, ask a lot of questions, work with your mentor, work with your manager, and play role. I mean, take contracts, pretend you have a buyer, Go with another agent on a listing appointment. Sit in when they're doing a contract and negotiating a contract. Play act or role play.
My advice for new agents is to welcome what you get when you join an office like the one I'm in. The team of people that are around me, the friends that I've made, has been a family. And Horton and Guzman and Zings and all those guys just stepped up and really just encouraged me and answered a million questions. And you need that support, you know. So I would say get behind your colleagues.
A couple of things. I think that they need to hook up with an experienced agent to learn how to do things, and hopefully that would give them a little bit of an income to start with, because it is, you know, a little expensive if you don't have any income. And then I would also do a lot of reading and just keep following. Something catches your attention, that's what you do. You read it and learn more about it. When I came into this business, I didn't know anything about the BPOs, nothing. And I read it online and I thought, oh, I better find out about this. And that's how I got into it, just by reading.
I would say you have to work it like it's a business. It has to be your main priority. I think that it has to be a job that you take seriously. You have to work it. You have to be there every day. Definitely come into the office. Figure out how your clients communicate best and communicate with them that way, whether it's email, texting, Facebook, fax, phone. You have to work it, you have to work hard, and it has to be the only hat that you're wearing.
If I was a new agent coming into the business, I think I would definitely pursue a farm for short sales, and I'd also be doing open houses and working the floor to pick up buyers.
You have to have some time in here. You have to understand what you're doing. You have to build a database. You have to figure out how real estate operates and what the ins and outs are of doing a real estate transaction. You just can't walk in cold and knock it dead. It doesn't happen. Older, experienced agents, I mean, they gave me advice that it was solid. And I followed some advice, thanks John Horton, that was huge. And I just followed the advice of people who knew more than I did.
People who are starting the business new, they really need to start small. They need to focus. If they get a buyer, don't let that buyer go. Just hold on till you close them, you know, and try to keep working that one buyer. Don't go and try to get 10 buyers. If you've got one solid person, stay with that buyer until you close that person. But, you know, it's just, you know, just don't stretch yourself out over too much and, you know, just try to close. That's my thing. In other words, once I mean, I'm doing everything, and as you know, I do everything. But once I got a buyer, I drop everything. I close that guy. I'm not going to do anything until he's closed. When he's closed, then I go to another one. That's the way I do business.
I think it's important for newer agents to know you can't necessarily look at what old agents do, implying that I'm old, and do what they do. If you want to be smart, take them to lunch. I did this when I first got into business. I actually invited the top producing agent to go to lunch. He said he would. Most people, he said, I was the first guy that ever offered to pay. Everybody else expected him to pay because he was making all the money. So I invited him to lunch. You need to ask them, what did you do to get started? Because what we do today isn't what we did to get started. We were in there every morning. I was in there by 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was there sometimes till 8 o'clock at night because it was like these times. It was tough times. I would like to stay connected with that I do think this is the best time for agents to be getting into the business, and agents who've been in the business and haven't been successful. This is the best time to get going because I know that Chuck got in during these times and I did. You get in during the hard times, you get all the good training, you know how to work. I felt very sorry for the people that got in the business 5 years ago because they just showed up and deals fell on their desk. Now we have to work.
I would tell them to start focusing, start filling out these applications, but also what I haven't done, and I'm still a little upset about, is I haven't got short sale trained. These short sales, I'm hearing through the asset managers, these short sales are becoming easier. Actually, I believe it was Equator or another company through Bank of America. Bank of America is using a company to do their short sale process. I would definitely tell these new agents to start focusing and training on short sales because they're becoming from my understanding, what I've been told through professionals, that it's becoming a lot more easier, and that's kind of the new thing.
I would probably go back to the basics. I would probably start door knocking again and talking to people about short sales, because everybody out here needs a short sale done.
I think that they have to always be learning to adapt. Too many times we get stuck in the rut instead of always learning to adapt to what's going on. You have to constantly be seeking education and getting certifications and things, even though you think you've got a bunch of them. That, you know, different companies want different kinds of certification.
Dude, I love that. Drop out, go ahead. Because you know what? Once I slide in, I'm not trying to pat my back, I'm all over it, dude. I've never been late. I've done 30 BPOs this year, 30 REOs. Never been late on a BPO. Never been late on their designated deadlines. Cal REO, they're f***ing anal about that bullshit. You better have this, you better there, we're gonna kill you, you know, basically. We're gonna come down and kick your ass. Bam, bam, bam. I'm telling you, it's a lot of kissing ass. I mean, to be asset manager, yes ma'am, no ma'am, oh yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, you want me to stand on my, okay, whatever. I yes the out of them, you know what I mean? I'm used to that. Hi, my name's Frank Taburzio. A lot of people say that sales is difficult, but I'm here to show you a few tips. Hey, how you guys doing? Come on in. And this is the dining room.
Oh, what a nice sized room. How many bedrooms is it?
Well, I believe it's 3 bedrooms, but it also has a loft that you can use as an office or a 4th bedroom.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were looking for a 4-bedroom.
Was I talking to you? Was I talking to you?
No.
Okay, now let's take a look at the kitchen.
Great. Oh, what a really nice kitchen.
Yeah, you land one of these, you'll be real lucky. It also has the built-in refrigerator and the electric stove.
Oh, I really like it.
Oh, yeah, I really don't like those electric stoves. They don't keep the heat very well.
Was I talking to you? Was I talking to you? Don't mess with me, boy. Boom! Okay, let's go take a look upstairs. Well, this is a beautiful house. You guys have any other questions?
I don't think so, honey.
Well, I showed the property to another young couple this morning. They're coming back to see it for their 2nd time.
I really do like it, but it's a bit small for us.
I know this is the most expensive purchase you're making in your entire life. So if you and your hubby want to go home and talk about it, you have my email, you have my phone number. Give me a call tonight and we'll talk about the contract.
To be perfectly honest, it's a little out of our price range.
Was I talking to you? Was I talking to you? Look me in the eye. Look me in the eye. Buy it.
No.
Buy it.
Please.
Buy it. Buy it.
I need to talk to my lender, Kim England.
Buy it.
Okay.
Great! Let's go back to the office and write this up.
Okay.
Boy, I'm going to have a busy day.
I think the biggest mistake that agents make is not following through on things. Getting calls and not following through on the call, feeling that you're too busy, that you're, got other things going on, and why bother with this mundane person? And you never can tell what kind of business somebody will bring you just because of one reaction one day.
I think they give up too soon. They start something, it doesn't happen immediately. Again, remember, my first deal was 9 months from the time I got my real estate license. First escrow closing. So a lot of people, if they're not getting it in the first month or two, they feel they're not doing it, they're failures, and they give up. And you can't give up because you really don't have the first deal unless you have a hot market 6 to 9 months down the road. The other thing that they do is that they start a marketing program or start something, and if in another month or two they don't have a deal or a lead, usually it's right after that second month that you're going to get that lead. You cannot stop. You have to be tenacious and committed to going forward.
Well, they don't follow through. They don't follow through, and when they don't do the service, the people think that clients are going to be loyal to them. They're not going to be loyal to them. They're going to be loyal to their service. You know, that's what they're loyal to. There's no clients out there that are loyal to you. They're going to be loyal to your service and what you can do for them.
I tell people, write the truth right up the front, everything, anything. So when we go and look at a house or we're talking about stuff, I just tell them what I see what's negative, I tell them what's good, and I think I build trust. And you just can't get it because you want it. You got to earn it. And I think just my personality, who I am, people trust me and know me. I mean, it's just the way I come across. I don't know, it's the way I am. And I think it comes from just always telling the truth about anything.
I guess I get them to write it because most of them have already been looking. I'm really not working with anybody who just out of the blue, I said, hey, you want to buy a house? No, they've been looking. It's been hard for a lot of them. Letting them know what's going on in the market, that they're not going to have 30 houses to choose from, that this is a limited opportunity, and if there's enough about the house that they like, that we need to write it up. I think that they also need to know too that just by signing their name on the contract, they haven't given away the farm, that there's still going to be a time period for them to think about it, to do their inspections. There's going to be a backout period, and I think that people need to know that just go ahead and sign your name. We're going to move forward, but if at any point in the next couple days you're having second thoughts, let's talk about it. And I think if they know that they can get out of it, they want to be in it.
I think us as a company are head and shoulders above most of them that I've talked to. We have a huge training routine that we can put them through. We've got experienced agents willing to avail themselves of all their knowledge to the new agents. Take advantage of it, listen to it, take the classes, learn the contracts.
We always go into the new year, like Mike said, you know, it's prospecting time. Now it's time, let's get this thing building. And one of the best things that we use is we call everybody we know and just say, you know, we have a goal to help 100 families buy or sell a home this year. Who do you know that may be thinking of buying or selling? And it's phenomenal who responds. You know, how quick do I need to let you know? So it's pretty exciting, and people like to help other people, and you're not necessarily saying, help me, with the way you said it, it's let's help people. And I think that's what's exciting in our business, because we get to do that.
Getting an offer accepted takes writing a strong offer, convincing your buyers that if they have the money, you don't need to put the home warranty in there, or just the little things. You know, if they really only want a termite report, don't even put it in there. Let's just do it ourselves, you know. Or sometimes the agents even have that stuff already and they're willing. Have a conversation with the agent if you can. Do you have this stuff already? Okay, then we're not going to write it in there. Cutting down your time frames. I can honestly say that maybe 4 or 5 of the deals that I closed this year were on offers that we put in that we did not get accepted right away. But my people really wanted that house. A lot of stuff falls out. Checking on that property in a week, calling the agent, say, hey, how's it looking? So many times the agent will say, it's not looking good, get your offer back over here, because they don't want to have to relist it and go through that whole process. They'd rather just if it's going to fall out, let it fall out and say, okay, it fell out, but Chris has an offer and it's ready to go.
I think it's hugely important to work well with other agents. There are some names out there that I could give, you'd probably rather I didn't, but the truth is, whenever we get something that's in-house, we will do everything in our power to push them ahead of everybody else. I don't feel there's anything unethical or unmoral about that, because I know that when it's in-house, normally we're going to work better together, we're going to help each other get it closed, and that's an advantage to my client. So I will literally tell my clients, we've got other offers equal to, or maybe even better in some cases, and we feel we have a better chance of closing with an agent that we know and know works well together. But I think it's really, really important. My whole career has been based on a few things. One is marketing, but one of the other things is trying to keep a good rapport with other agents in our company, but also outside. But I think it's really important to keep things for control reasons in-house whenever possible. But when I've got a deal, I don't care if it's Larry Falk in Temecula, we still try to work well, because today we might be the listing agent and he's sucking up to us, and tomorrow he might be the listing agent and we're sucking up to him.
Well, the fact of the matter is I do have another job. You know, when I was out looking at other careers, and I did try some other things. Frankly, I'm not proud of it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I would say, and we haven't looked at the numbers yet, approximately 50% would be the short sales. We would have about 30% would be, between 25 and 30% would be buyer sales. Another 20 to 30% would have been regular sales.
Right.
And so actually bank, like she said, bank REOs, we only really were involved in 2 or 3.
But I've made a lot of money by doing BPOs. Now I have to tell you, it's taken a couple years to get this far. But this last year I've done about 1,000 BPOs. I'm just under 1,000. And, you know, figure out the math. At $50 per BPO, you got it. If you have one level of income or one stream of income, then you're in trouble if that one dries up.
Well, what Kathy's saying is do what you have to do to survive in this business, because it will change. And eventually you'll be doing something different, but in the meantime you're making money.
2002 I got into the business. There were a lot of sales just starting to happen. 2005 we were doing a ton of normal sales. Everything was booming. 2006 I started to get into REOs. 2007, 8, and 9 it was a lot of REOs, and it looks like the market's going to be switching to short sales.
I think it's really important, for my attitude in 2010 is to bring again that innovation and that energy and just get at it, because I believe there's great things coming over the horizon.
I think it's going to go up. I don't think it's going to stay down. But I'm a very positive person, so I always believe in the best. I really do. And when I sell property, I always think that way when I'm talking to my clients as well. We always look for the best deals and try to stay ahead of the market and try to figure out what is the best deal for the future. Just don't go buy anything, but try to buy something that has value.
I think the REO market's going to stay steady. I definitely think it's going to pick up a little bit more than it did towards the end of this year. I don't think it's going to be the end of the REO market, but I do think it's going to stabilize a little bit with the amount of REOs released. They're doing a lot more third-party sales like at the courthouses. I think that's going to increase. And they're also working with loan modifications. But I think with the amount of foreclosures that are actually occurring, the numbers are actually higher, that I think it's just going to keep the amount of REOs that come to the agents steady. If you look at the numbers of the foreclosed properties that are just sitting there with the assets not being moved, they're non-acting assets, just sitting in limbo. Some of them will definitely go to the third parties for the auctions, without a doubt, and then the other ones are going to have to be released, to agents for sale. But the amount of foreclosures, it's doubled. The actual foreclosed properties, the numbers have doubled since last year. They just haven't released them.
In 2010, I'm going to start attending Coldwell Banker ABR's training in the short sale process. I definitely want to get trained up in that. I know that's going to be the future. These banks and these third parties are trying to make it a little bit more easier and facilitate the short sale process, and I'm sure that's going to be the way of the future.
I've been hearing that to expect the volume to increase more towards the end of the first quarter, and then for it just to remain stable throughout the year after that. The properties they've held off on, they'll start releasing more towards the end of the first quarter, and then it should be pretty stable through the year.
2010 is going to bring a lot of change as it relates to technology. I think we're going to see a shift in the REO to short sales to back to a more resale market. It won't be a normal market, it'll be a different market. And so I think you just need to start looking at being very futuristic and progressive in what 2011 is going to be. And take 2010 to carefully look at what you want to do in 2011.